Hi, this is MC of Healthy by George. Join me every Thursday and Sunday here on YouTube. And if you want, please subscribe. I'd love for you to join me here. Click the like button or ring the bell as a reminder, because I'm here every Thursday and Sunday because I really want the best for our health and well-being. Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. So, September is Mental Health Awareness Month. And one of the things that was just recently published was an article in The Lancet that talked about the fact that we can diminish our risks and prevent dementia. This is huge because we're all afraid as we get older that there is going to be some possibility of our cognitive thinking declining. And so right now, as we are getting older, it's so important that we know about the things that we can take action on that will help us reduce the abilities of being at risk for dementia or even cognitive decline. And there were three top things that I want to talk about. One is the issue of vision loss. Vision loss was a big deal, I know, for my father. He suffered from diabetic retinopathy, and it was a very disheartening component when he lost vision in his eye. And it was very unclear that he understood that his risk of having diabetes could potentially cause this vision loss. I think having vision loss is a challenge both mentally and physically. And if you can do things to understand your vision health yearly, going to see your ophthalmologist or an optometrist or someone who can help you understand your vision health. I know for me, I suffered 2 years ago from some of the reddest eyes I've ever seen in my life. And it came out of the blue. I had no idea. And apparently, as I'm learning, that was my first real symptom of menopause, dry eyes. My eyes looked like I had been smoking marijuana for days. As soon as I got back, I saw my doctor and she gave me a wonderful prescription, and I have to take it every single day with Stasis. It's some drops in the morning and the evening. And I also do Lumify because still there's this redness that lingers. So I have dry eye. My eyes are more sensitive. And so I've got my regular appointment to see my doctor this October because I do feel like my vision in my right eye has changed. So you have to stay on top of your vision. The other thing is your hearing. Hearing loss causes an increase in cognitive decline and dementia. And what is that all about? Both of these things, vision loss, hearing loss, it causes us to have an emotional feeling. First of all, we can't socialize. We don't feel very comfortable when we have vision or hearing loss in a social setting. It could potentially make us more isolated, less socially connected. It also, too, helps us. It's a challenge to figure out how to communicate. How can we read if we can't see well? How can we hear each other and have conversations that are meaningful if we're not hearing well? These two things are things that we must stay on top of. So what do you need to do? You need to go in and have your ears and your hearing tested by an ear, nose, and throat doctor. It's very important to do that. I have hearing loss in my family. And basically, I've gone in to have that test done, and I was very reassured that I didn't have anything happening at the time. But now I know that this is something I have to stay on top of if I do feel like something's happening. So the third thing was cholesterol. There was a sign that if you can keep your cholesterol under control, that this too can be something that is a helpful element for you to reduce cognitive decline and dementia. So there were more things that you could do in this article, and I'll continue to talk about for the remaining month of September. But I think when we think about cholesterol, it feels a little fuzzy as to what does that really mean. Cholesterol is something that our body makes automatically. So even though you may reduce the cholesterol in your diet, it may not help you reduce the cholesterol that you make in your body. So it's something where you have to talk to your doctors about, would it be useful to you for you to be on what's called a cholesterol reducing drug? Or, there are some natural elements, but I always get I don't know, I'm on the fence about supplements because we can't control them very well. They're not well regulated. The wellness industry apparently is almost a $2 trillion worldwide business, because basically in the wellness industry, you can sell anything as long as it's apparently safe and it doesn't have anything really toxic, and you're not saying it's a cure for a treatment of some kind. So there's this gray area. And it's very difficult to do research on these things because the funding to do research on supplements or devices, you can hardly get these companies to support you in a research project for something that you want to study that is in the supplement domain. They don't want you to prove that something doesn't work or even does work, because right now they can make more money by being vague about what the benefits are. So I'm always a little bit on the fence, and I look for places like maybe that the Huberman Lab recommends, or Dr. Attia on his podcast called The Drive, because those are individuals who I think really understand the impact of these kinds of not treatments, but supplements or things that we can do with devices such as the red light therapy or this grounding therapy items that are available, and how much those might really truly provide benefit, because there are some small studies that do show that have some benefit. And I think that's a place to start, because so many times when you hear things that are being pushed on the internet about supplements and how they can help you, I think there's this a doctor that's out there telling how she can cure your heart disease in 2 weeks by taking her supplement. I'm sorry, as much as I would love for it to be true, it's hard to understand where the evidence is. And to me, being someone who's done research for over 30 years practically, I like to see evidence a little bit before I'm going to spend $40 or $50 on a bottle of supplements that I really don't understand what is in them and how they were tested. And I really would prefer something that's a little more in the science-y vein. I understand sometimes that's not what happens, but it's what I feel good about. As far as cholesterol is concerned, I think that's about a conversation with your doctor to help you understand, what is your cholesterol risk? How is that impactful for your thinking? Because if you have high cholesterol, it means that you might have plaques in your veins and your arteries that go to the brain. And you might have plaques, and this puts you at risk for what they call narrowing and not getting enough blood and oxygen to the brain, which causes potential cognitive decline or strokes or potential dementia. Be well, my friends. Let's all take a time to figure out ways to encourage our growth, socially, connecting, doing things that foster learning during the month of September, expanding our horizons to understand what is our risk of hearing loss, what is our risk of vision loss, and understand what does cause vision loss as we get older, because the brain, our eyes are the most exposed part of our brain. So let's all work very intentionally this month of Mental Health Awareness Month of September and live our best life as we get older. Be well, my friends. We have this one precious life. Let's do things that make it longer and functional and enjoyable. See you next time. Be well. Join me here on YouTube. Bye-bye. Subscribe if you like. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.